Lee Crowley, Managing Director at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So this is largely an expected retaliation from China, a very tit-for-tat move, you could say. Talk to us a little bit more about the reaction here from China and what more we could possibly see.
Well, look, in fact, I think this is a rather small scale reaction from China. I think many experienced observers expected China to expel more than one diplomat. It's very much the pattern of Chinese behavior these days. You know, for example, Meng Wanzhou gets detained on Canadian territory and they kidnap two Canadian citizens in retaliation. This time they've done just one for one. I think that's a shot across the bow for Canada that don't go any further. But I think I'm sorry to have to say that the weak reaction by the government of Canada, in the sense that they took basically a week, or if you like, they took 2 years, because we had CSIS reports going back 2 years that this kind of intimidation behavior was going on against Michael Chong and his family. So basically 2 years for the government of Canada to decide to expel the diplomat who is responsible. I think that signals to China that intimidation against Canada works. And we saw something similar with the two Michaels. The government was terrified to act against China. I think this, far from signaling strength, signals a terrible weakness on the part of the government of Canada towards China.
Well, Brian, I find that, it is quite interesting that so much has been revealed and been made public about China's activities, allegations of foreign interference, the spy balloons, that we saw as well, the Michael Chong story, and Michael Chong saying that CSIS told him there were other MPs that were also targeted. So given that so much is out there right now, do you think that China is perhaps playing it a bit safer at the moment, waiting for the temperature to cool? Or do you think that they just don't view us as that much of a threat?
Well, I certainly think they don't see us as a threat. And, to your question, we have to ask ourselves, why is it that so much information is coming out right now about Canada's relationship with China? Leaving aside the balloon episode, where the balloons were floating over our country, we've seen so much information come up in the last little while about election interference, about Michael Chong, and I think that that's evidence that there is actually a civil war going on within the government of Canada between the intelligence services, who are seeing all of this evidence of Chinese interference. They're sending the reports up the line to the political authorities. The political authorities are taking no action. And I think finally what's happened is the intelligence services are saying, then we have to take this case directly to the Canadian people. We saw the Prime Minister try and throw CSIS under the bus. He said, "Oh, I was never informed about Michael Chong, and this is all news to me. I only found out about it on Tuesday." And then, his own national security advisor came out and said, "Well, no, actually, we were informed about this 2 years ago, and we've known all along." And I think this is part of a general conflict, as I call it, a civil war that is going on within the government of Canada over whether Canada will strengthen its stand against China and protect the interests of Canada and Canadians. And I think until the government of Canada begins to act in a more resolute way against Chinese threats and interference, we're going to see this civil war continue.
Brian, I want to ask one final question here. There is, of course, an impact here on China's relationship with Canada, Canada's relationship with China, but what about the relationship between Canada and other nations as well? How closely are we being watched in terms of the moves that we make as a government, as our Canadian government rather makes here?
Yes, look, I think this is terribly important in our relationship with other countries. We've seen other countries, the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and others in the Indo-Pacific, getting together to create the architecture that will allow them to act collectively to respond to China's aggressive behavior. In every case, Canada has been left out of those new arrangements, where AUKUS, or the new economic association that's being built up in the Indo-Pacific. the Quad, which brings together Japan, the United States, India, and Australia. In all these cases, clearly we weren't even invited to the table because our allies see us as a weak partner, not willing to stand up to China. And why should they trust us with technical and intelligence information about China when they can't be confident that we will handle it in a responsible way in the interests of the alliance as well as Canadians.
Brian Lee Crowley, Managing Director at the Macdonald-Laurier Institute. A pleasure to speak with you today. Thanks so much.